Feeling alone? Like you're walking through a storm, but no one sees you. You scream inside your mind, but the world keeps spinning. Everyone's busy, distracted, looking down at their phones or caught up in their own battles. And there you are, alone, hurting, wondering if anyone even notices. If this sounds like you, I want you to hear me loud and clear. You are not broken. You are becoming. Napoleon Hill once said, "Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit." Right now, in this pain, there is a seed. It's invisible. It feels like nothing, but it's there. Being alone can feel like punishment, but it can also be a gift. You see, when the noise dies down, when friends disappear, when life strips you down to silence, that's when the truth shows up. That's when you meet you. Rohn said, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better." That's not to say your pain isn't real. It is. That's not to say you shouldn't cry. But once the tears dry, you're left with a choice. Stay down or stand up. If you're listening to this, it means some part of you still wants to fight, still wants to rise. This is an important moment, because being alone is not the same as being defeated. In fact, some of the greatest transformations happen in solitude. The caterpillar doesn't turn into a butterfly in front of a crowd. It breaks down inside a cocoon, in the dark, alone, and you, yes you, are in your cocoon phase. You were born rich, not in money, but in potential, Bob Proctor once said. That potential is still inside you. I don't care what your past looks like. I don't care what mistakes you've made. Right now, in this moment, you have more power than you realize. But here's the catch. You have to decide. Decide that your pain won't be your prison. Decide that your loneliness won't be your final chapter. Decide that this breakdown is actually your breakthrough. Take a breath. Put your hand over your heart. Feel that? That's purpose. That's proof that you're still here, that life hasn't given up on you. So why should you give up on life? This moment, this pain, this isolation, it's shaping you, forging you, just like fire shapes steel. There's a story you're writing, and every hero, every single one, goes through a chapter of darkness. Every mountain climber has to take one step at a time. Every success story starts with someone who was tired, broken, and uncertain, but who kept moving anyway. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. So, get up, even if it's just emotional. Even if it's just one small action today. These are not small things. These are victories. These are proof that you are alive and moving. And as you move, even slowly, momentum builds. Tony Robbins teaches that motion creates emotion. So if you're stuck, start by doing. And don't wait to feel ready. Do it scared. Do it tired. Do it unsure. But do it anyway. The version of you who is confident, the one who's thriving, full of peace, full of strength, that version already exists inside you. You're just walking toward them right now. Sometimes we don't get to choose what happens to us, but we always get to choose what happens next. Let's recognize the importance of this fundamental truth. Your life is not over. In fact, this might be the part where it really begins, the precipice of change. The worst day of your life can become the best turning point, but only if you let it. You are not your trauma. You are not your depression. You are not your anxiety. You are not what they said about you. You are not the mistakes you made. You are the one who gets back up. You are the one who keeps going. You are the storm and the calm. You are the fire and the light. You are the hero of this story if you allow yourself to be it. And heroes don't always feel brave. Sometimes they're terrified, but they move forward anyway. So here's what I want you to do. When you feel like giving up, come back and listen to this. When you feel numb, listen to this. When you feel like nobody understands you, know that someone does, and that person is you. Is today you making your tomorrow you proud? The relationship you have with yourself is the foundation for every other relationship. And right now, you have a golden opportunity to rebuild it, to love yourself, to see your worth, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Even on your best days, there's room to grow, and even on your worst days, there's hope. Zig Ziglar said, "You don't have to be sick to get better." So take today one moment at a time. You don't have to figure out the whole future. Just do the next right thing. Maybe that's brushing your teeth. Maybe it's journaling your feelings. Maybe it's finally asking for help. There is strength, grace, and dignity in that too. You are not weak for struggling. You are human for struggling. And the fact that you're still here, that's strength. That's courage. That's victory. There will be days where it still hurts. That's okay. But those days won't define you. And those days shouldn't define you. You will rise, not in one big leap, but in small, brave, consistent steps. Now go out there and build a life that feels like home. You will find people who see you. You will smile again, laugh again, love again. You will transform. But for the moment, remember this. You may be alone in this moment, but you are never alone in your struggle. Millions have walked this road, and millions have made it through. So will you. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. It's already inside you. Light, strength, peace, power, potential. All of it is within. So stand tall even if your legs shake. Speak kindly to yourself even if your voice trembles. And believe, just for a second, that your future is bigger than your past, because it is. You were not born to stay down. You were born to rise, one step at a time, one breath at a time, one decision at a time. You're not just surviving, you're becoming. You are, with divine strength and unfathomable courage, alone forging your destiny.